North Korea has now released video footage of its latest ICBM launch. The Hwasong-15 was believed to be an upgraded version of the Hwasong-14 launched back in July, but the footage shows its warhead is shaped differently. The end of the Hwasong-15 is rounder and more blunt than the Hwasong-14. Seoul's Joint Chiefs of Staff says the 15 appears to be a new missile, not an upgrade. This follows photos released earlier in the day taken before, during, and after the launch. Some showed the North's leader Kim Jong-un overseeing the test, monitoring the flight data, and celebrating.
용무기 체계의 전술 기술적 재원과 동작 믿음성을 확정사 체제로 진행했습니다. 대륙간 탄도로켓 화성 15형은 무기 높은 발동기에 동작 정확성이 확증되었으며 그에 따르는 유도 및 안정화 체계 설계 정수들의 작성이 검증됐습니다. 또한 새로 개발 완성한 곤양 능력과 발사 계통에 대한 동작 믿음 확정했습니다. 기동성과 명중성이 확고히 보장되지 못하시면서 만족의 대만족이라고.
Now that South Korea has concluded the missile was an entirely new type, our Kim Hyun-bin has more on how they reached that conclusion. It's not only the shape, the missile appears to have two engines rather than one.
South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said on Thursday that the recent ballistic missile launched by North Korea seems to be a newly developed intercontinental ballistic missile.
After initial analysis, we believe the Hwasong-15 is a new type of ICBM.
The assessment comes as the North released photos stating that it was a new and more powerful ICBM. After analyzing the photos, the JCS concluded that there is a clear difference between Hwasong-14 and Hwasong-15.
There are clear differences in the appearance of the Hwasong-15's warhead, the connection part between the first and second stage of the missile, and the overall size.
Unlike the Hwasong-14, which had one engine, experts say the Hwasong-15 was equipped with two engines.
The picture shows that there are two engine nozzles, then there are two engines attached.
The Hwasong-15 warhead is relatively round, while the Hwasong-14 is sharp. Many experts say the round warhead could mean the regime might be developing a multiple re-entry vehicle, which would make it difficult to intercept.
The multiple re-entry vehicle could mount several warheads, and one missile can have the same effect as 10. From North Korea's perspective, it's a very attractive weapon.
The expert believes that if North Korea fully develops its miniaturized warhead, the Hwasong-15 could mount at least 3 nuclear bombs. Pyongyang fired 2 Hwasong-14 missiles for the first time in July. The South Korean military is looking to see if the regime was capable of developing a new ICBM in just a few months.
For the 9th time this year, the Security Council gathers to discuss yet another crisis centered on North Korea. An emergency session called for by the US, Japan, and South Korea, and a grave warning from the French representative.
This test is another confirmation that the North Korean threat has changed dramatically in a few months, both in scope and scale. The threat has shifted from being regional to global.
The US ambassador makes a direct plea to China to place greater economic pressure on its ally and neighbor.
We need China to do more. President Trump called Chinese President Xi this morning and told him that we have come to the point that China must cut off the oil from North Korea. That would be a pivotal step in the world's effort to stop this international pariah.
But no such pledge from China. Instead, it called again on the US to explore a freeze-for-freeze scenario in which North Korea would slow its missile program if the US and South Korea lowered their military posture on the peninsula. This position supported by Russia.
We proposed a solution based along the principle of suspension for suspension, which envisions the DPRK stopping missile tests while at the same time the US and South Korea decreasing the scale of their military exercises. This in turn will pave the way for the principles of peaceful coexistence and peaceful discussions between Washington and Pyongyang.
But this has been repeatedly and vehemently ruled out by the US. And clearly, while the Council is united in its condemnation of the latest missile launch, it remains divided on how to respond. The question now, if the missile testing continues, will the US continue to seek solutions with its Security Council partners or decide to go it alone? Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, United Nations.